Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market report for Friday, October 5th, 2018. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. This is the ES right here. We got a major tumble the previous session. Again, we were looking for signs that we may see a pullback. We knew that we started October very quietly with more rejections here at the upper end of the range. We also knew that if we were to pull back, we may see a move that could take us as deep as the previous month's low. We've been talking about that already. I mentioned that if we were to see a move of that magnitude, it could still be a great buying opportunity for a return trip back up. But really, if there's any failure to hold above the 28.78 half, that could really impact longer term price direction, because if price were to drop below here, that's one thing. But failing to get back above this zone would suggest more weakness ahead. So really, that 28.78 half is very, very important. We've talked about it for a while now. I've mentioned how this level right here is the high of the year, prior high of the year, 28.78 half, and we've been sitting just above it, building a box. And oftentimes, that can lead to a major pullback if that price cannot hold above that box. Now, that doesn't mean we can't continue higher. Again, that's what I mean. On a pullback to below this low, it could be a great opportunity to buy it, because ultimately, if that area is rejected, we could see a major upside continuation down the road. So again, a couple of things to consider here. We may not be done overall with the pullback, and we could continue to see another day or two of development before we actually decide direction. So again, right now, still holding below the previous month's close. We could see further pullback ahead, but again, any pullback could be a buying opportunity ahead. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Now, the NQ had more of a rejection and a tumble here. We talked about how price was holding the 7,700 level. We had rejections there on the very first day of the month. That happened at the previous month's high, and there was also bearish divergence there. I mentioned that the zone to defend for bears was between 7,700 and basically 7680. That zone there had been defended over and over, and on the last day here, it got up to 7,700, a couple of points above it, and that was it. Sold off to the close, and then that led to a major break below 1, 2, 3, 4-day lows breached, and it took out all the lows over the last couple of weeks and then some. Now, when you look at this on a 3-month composite VWAP basis, so taking VWAP over the last 3 months, VWAP is right where we are right here at this zone. And so it is right at value over the last 3 months. This was value, this was value, this was value. VWAP was here and here to begin the month. So every single time it has been bid so far, we're sitting there now. And so again, it still makes for a good value buying opportunity, but do we see a little bit more weakness? We have not seen a pattern of breaking prior lows. For the most part, we've stayed above the prior pivot low this entire way up. And as soon as we break that that kind of structure there, that would be significant. So again, that's why any move to this level would either make for a big rejection or it's going to make for a significant failure. So again, right now, again, given the current market and how strong tech has been, it's understandable to get a pullback at times, and then from there look to see if the buying opportunities start to reveal themselves, which they are. If we take a look here at the crude oil chart, you'll notice this one has been very, very bullish. The previous session, in the pre-market report, I mentioned that if there's any failure to hold above 76s, that could lead to a daytime frame sell-off, and it did. It dropped into 73 and change, 74s. So it dropped at least 2 good handles into that zone once it failed to hold 76s. But I mentioned I wouldn't look to sell it or short it on a longer-term basis. Daytime frame is one thing, but this thing is headed much, much higher. And so again, this is the pullback phase. Here's the 8-period average. It's holding above the previous month's high and close. And again, this thing has been squeezing higher. Any pullback or any failed new low could be a great buying opportunity for a continuation higher. This looks like it is poised for much more strength. And again, I know I've been mentioning this level here, and any failure to hold it could open up a pullback But again, the next pullback, even if it's just another day or two, could be a big time buying opportunity to stretch this thing toward 80, which could be significant. So again, this market remains bullish. Got to continue to watch for market structure to remain intact in this one. Taking a look now at gold. This one, again, with as much as the market dropped in the previous session, this one really didn't budge. There's forces holding gold down. It's just not really ready to go. You can see 1180 and 1220 is still the zones here that I'm watching for a breakout. You can continue to see a lot of chop in here. It is clearly building significant energy. This is a neutral key range. From that high to that low is the key range, and then you have the midpoint, and price is trading perfectly between the middle 50% of that range. That's neutral. That's a perfectly neutral key range, and what happens is whenever that range is ready to see expansion, it is significant. It is significant. Again, which way do we go? Who knows? Given it's been oversold, again, bulls are hoping for a bounce back toward value, and that would take you back toward about 1280 to 1300. But again, this market has not been able to find a bid and go higher in quite a while. It would not surprise me if this thing saw another major leg downward. So again, watching for the confirmed breakout in gold. Now, taking a look lastly here at RTY. You'll notice the previous session I mentioned that this one has been sold off quite a bit. It is coming into a zone here that has shown some support. I mentioned that 1620 perhaps provides the best area of supports. Also market structure, a great LVN. The LVN starts anywhere in this zone though, so again you can see why we're starting to see initial support. At some point we will see rejection. Perhaps it's at this low. Maybe it needs to come a little bit lower, and then it could be a great buying opportunity back up in the near term, at least back towards 1700. So again, could be quite a move ahead. We may not be done fishing for the bottom, but that's the case across the market right now. ES, NQ, YM, etc. But again, this one looking like it has a great shot to bounce in the LVN zone, perhaps as low as 1620. Also, please don't forget to go to PivotBoss.com. I have released Swing Trade Pro 2.0. I've already received great initial feedback for the course. There is a great sale going on until the end of next week, so October 14th is the deadline for the sale. Check it out, be a part of it before the sale ends. Again, Swing Trade Pro 2.0 has been released and it is on fire right now. Check it out. Take care, have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.